Hey everyone, this is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter, and I'm here with a general update. I just really have to show you this tree. All around me are the tallest trees in the world. See, here we're coming up on some nice redwoods. Ugh. You just have no frame of reference for how big that really is. Oh my God. So here we are at these grandmother trees I wanted to show you. Can you see how big it is? This grandmother tree behind me is the largest redwood I think I've ever seen, and certainly the largest since I've been back in the area. I was trying to stand up there and give you an idea of just how big it is, because it's really hard to see when you don't have a reference point. It's just massive. So thank you for joining my video here. I'm just taking a little hike, but Bambi and I already took a hike, and she's back in the van, keeping it warm. And I'm going to give you a little general update. So again, here we are in Northern California. It's really super awesome to be here, but it is starting to get cold. And there's a cold front that's come through Northern California, like from the Bay Area on up. And tonight is supposed to be the coldest. So last night we stayed in a Home Depot, and we'll probably stay there tonight too, because it's away from the coast a little bit, which is really nice. Otherwise, we tend to stay on the coast. So actually the other night in one of our beautiful spots that I found on iOverlander, a policeman came in the morning and knocked on the van, and I was like, hey, and then he got in and started to get back in his vehicle, and I was like, hey, why are you contacting me? And he said, oh, we just have to come by if someone called and complained. So, and that's all he said, and I was like, thanks. And he was like, okay, thanks, bye. And then he went down and he talked to the guy in the big bus, and I talked to that guy later, and he said that the policeman threatened him with a ticket if he didn't leave right away, and he was like, well, I'll leave as soon as I'm ready. It was daytime by then, so it's city property, and it's one of the areas you can park, but every once in a while I guess they come through. It's possible because of the big bus. I'm not sure what happened, but we did get the police knock the other morning, I think yesterday morning, and it was no big deal at all. So that happened the other night. Basically, it's getting cold and we're trying to figure out what to do next. So do we head south? I've been checking temperatures around, and even down as far as Santa Cruz, it's cold. So that might just be this winter front coming through, but I'm suspecting it's obviously just going to keep getting colder and colder here. So we have to decide, and this is one of the things about van life with the weather is, it's really important for me to come north and be here with these trees and this community up here. But now I have to decide whether to use the resources to head south or not, and where exactly to go. Now, the other factor influencing that is I really need to sew at some point, and I really need to get my sewing tutorials together that I mentioned in my income streams video. But if I'm going to rent a place somewhere for a period of time, I might as well do that up here since it's cold, but I'll be indoors. Could be a short-term rental. So those are the two things that I'm looking at, and both of them cost money. So I have to make a conscious decision about where to spend my money, and I never know how much is coming in. So, but right now I have to be really careful with my money and decide what we're doing next. So I really do not want to leave this area, but it's just going to get too cold. So I got to figure out something to do. All right, so let's just take a walk back out of here, or maybe over there a little bit. Had to put my glasses on so I could see. Um, you may notice that my glasses are different than the ones I'm usually wearing, and that's because my other glasses broke today. The arm broke off of them, and so I'm gonna have to go get new glasses. I just did that a year ago. It was a couple $100, and So I have to get new glasses. And the other thing that you don't know, oh, we're just surrounded by these giant trees. So I've been having some teeth problems lately, and this is an ongoing thing because I have receding gums, periodontitis, and I don't have any insurance. So what I need to do is save money for whenever I need dental care. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to have to go in to a dentist. Oh my God, it's the worst. The worst. At minimally, I would just like these 2 teeth removed that are bothering me. One of them is just a loose tooth that I'm losing, like many of my teeth right now. And the other one is a tooth that got cracked, and the filling is cracked. And so it's an old mercury filling, so it's probably going into my system. And that really freaks me out. So I really need to get that tooth removed or fixed. So I've got some serious dental work coming up. I won't know how much it's going to be till I get in there. I won't know how much healing time there'll be, if I'll be able to talk for my videos. So hopefully it won't be that bad. Sometimes a bunch of things come up at once. Bambi needs to go for a general checkup. She needs an x-ray, and I just want to make sure she's all right with blood tests and poop and pee tests. Oh my God. So I have Bambi, dental work, and new glasses I gotta get, plus either driving somewhere warm or renting somewhere warm. We can stay in the van up here. I've got a Mr. Buddy. So sometimes in van life, a bunch of things come up at once. And I'm just gonna have to decide where to put that money. And, more importantly, I'm just going to have to decide that it's going to be all right no matter what happens. That's really the trick. I mean, part of, being in van life is going with this flow. And, well, for some people have it all planned out. But, being in the flow of van life, it's my job to keep positive and to keep working towards bettering my situation, developing my income streams, making my hats, doing everything I can to get along. And then just knowing that it's going to work out. And that's the state of mind that I'm in now, more of the time than I used to be. Because I've learned it actually is a universe of abundance, and that when I do that, things seem to work out. And even if they don't, quote unquote, work out, at least I'm in a peaceful state of mind. So I've just gone walking down the trail looking for the arm of my glasses that I broke earlier. That's why I came over here too. I haven't found it. But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick with van life is, sometimes there's so much freedom that you don't know what to do. It's like I don't have a particular place I need to be at a particular time. And so I really have the freedom to, depending on resources, there's always a limit to, I really have the freedom to do anything. And that can be a little bit overwhelming. And I can become very indecisive about what I want to do. So it's sitting with that feeling. So if you're just new to van life, or you're thinking about van life and you're getting ready, it's one of the things that you'll have to do to deal with, especially if you've just retired. You're going to have that feeling anyway. Sort of, what do I do? Because we're so used to, when we're working, being at a particular place at a particular time. And once you get out of that, it's not, it's a totally different feeling. Now you're responsible for telling you what you need to do when. And most of us don't grow up with a lot of that. I mean, first we're under the tutelage. I love being able to use words that don't come across in everyday life. The tutelage of our parents. And then we're in school. And then we're in college, and then we're at work. And all of those times are all highly scheduled. Even when we're a kid and we get out of school, we have the sports that are scheduled and all that stuff. So if you think about it, our whole lives are really quite scheduled. Like all the time. So when you get to retirement or you get out here in van life for the first time, it might be a little unnerving. It's something you've got to get used to. And it really is the art of going with the flow. That doesn't mean you're not going to get as much done because you're not on a schedule. It doesn't mean you don't have to do what you need to do. It means you do it step by step. When I get in the flow and I have a bunch of things to do during the day, I just go to the one thing that's the first thing. Like this morning, we were parked at Home Depot, so I went in there looking for window coverings or anything else, generators. Just researching, you know. And then the next thing was to go, you know, empty the trash somewhere. The next thing was to, you know, and it just goes like that. One thing to the next thing to the next thing. It's really not that hard to go from one thing to the next thing. As long as you don't worry about really what you need to get done. It pretty much all gets done and then some. Because you're not dealing with that stress. Man, that's a lot of wood. Wow. I'm standing on 2 or 3 giant logs right now. These redwoods come down in the forest and they just rot away over time. By the way, that big tree back there is probably a 2,000-year-old tree. Definitely 1,000-year-old trees in here all over the place. But yeah, get ready for that change of having to go with the flow and not being on a schedule for the first time in your life, perhaps. Since you were a baby, which you were also on a schedule then. Feeding, eating, doctors, whatever. Yeah, even for a rebel like me, it's like, what do I do? What do I do now? Yeah, that just goes to show how much freedom we don't have. That when we do have it, we're like, what should we do? You know? It's crazy that after all these years of doing this and traveling around with widespread panic all over the country, well, the eastern half, basically, after all these years of doing this, that I'm still like, it's a little bit unnerving to have freedom. And I really encourage you out there to go ahead and mix things up and get a taste of that. Do something radical. And it's a little unnerving in a good way. I think it'll fire you up. So we'll just head back to the van now and go get Bambi. The van's right up here. So a lot of times we find these places here just by driving around. So yeah, I'm just amazed at how many places like this there are. I mean, I think, you know, and talk a lot about sort of how much has been lost. But when you start getting out in America, there's just so many places like this. I mean, we could just park here all day, every day if we wanted to. Pretty chilly in here, I'll say that. It's pretty chilly in a redwood forest this time of year. But it can be very warm in the summer. So there's the van. We've got our beautiful spot here. So I just wanted to thank you for watching our video. And I want to let you know, I don't have Patreon or memberships. But if you'd like to help support this journey and the storytelling and the videos and everything, you can make a PayPal donation, which is linked below in the description. And Bambi and I would really appreciate that. That's how you can donate to this channel if you'd like to. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, freedom-filled day. Thanks for watching. Bye.